Assalamu alaikum. Right, let me just set this up. I do apologize for the delay. Not sure how clearly this, I don't know if you guys can just hear me like this. Let's just see. Wait, what's going on? Right, this screen on this end doesn't seem too clear, but right, people, so if you can hear me, give me a shout out if you can. Yep, I take it you can. Yep. Assalamu alaikum. Right, okay. Right, it's all good, Nadir, it's all good. Right, alaikum salam, Imdad, Islam. You can hear me loud and clear. Alright, people, alright. So, Inna alhamdulillahi wa kafah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulih al-Mustafa, وعلى عباده الذين ارتضى ومن بهداهم اهتدى وبآثار أهل المدينة اقتفى وبعد فسلام الله عليكم, folks. Let's see what's going down. I've got to say, I do apologize. Today's session is going to be uber short. Reason is there's just, apart from there's so much going on, I've actually got to fly out this morning, so because of that, I'm just been overwhelmed trying to sort things out, and I've got to set off in a few hours, and there's still so many things to do that I haven't kind of still pending. So no bathroom robe today. I would have done it. It is slick, but I'm getting that ready in the luggage. So cool. What's going down? Look it up. Shukran. Why did the chicken cross the road? All right. Where's Imam Suhaib Webb? The Don, he's flown out, the legend. Salam Sheikh, you're well, Jazakallah khair for doing this. What are your thoughts on permissibilities of tattoo? Tattoos, I think, on generally the Islamic culture is that they're not permissible. There has been, contrary to what, there has been some difference of opinion. I believe Imam Qarafi transmits some difference within the Maliki Madhab, as there being a position that some people believe them only to be makruh and not haram. But this view, it is a bit blurry, isn't it? It says my camera is a bit blurry. Now, I don't know how to fix that. I mean, is that just simply me wiping this? Let me see if I can just wipe this. Is that better? Alright, HD people, I sorted out the problem. Look at that. Alright. Some for technology. I still haven't sorted out my iPad Pro. Facebook bloody it just still says downloading. I did everything, complete reset. I logged into iTunes, did everything, doesn't work. I'm just sick to death. Anyway, right, let's deal with your questions, people. Where is the dua actually from? Interest in the history of it. What dua? What dua? Where's the dua from? Oh, the dua I read? I made that up. I did actually. I made it up. Where to, Sheikh? No invite. Some paths you must walk alone. Nah, it's just flying abroad, some work related kind of matters. Got to take a look at. That's it. Yeah. So we're flying out to Morocco. Part of some kind of the business we do. But anyway, your camera is a bit blurry. Hope that's a lot better now. Not of those who invoked your anger, those who can refer to. Can it refer to Jews, Christians, or can it refer to atheists, Hindus, other religions, etc.? Thing is, yes, I think. Damn this cough. Right, I think also that when it says غير المغضوب عليهم, people said traditionally this was was it the Jews or so on. I think it can just mean people who do really cruel things as well, that kind of thereby invoke the wrath of Allah upon them. That's what I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it can. Jure is saying get henna tattoos. Sure, is it better? It's getting better. Yep, that's awesome. I'll sort of worked. Yeah, that's better. Awesome. Abu Mu'adh, nate. HD Noor, alright. I work as a care assistant. Waqar, is that you working as a care assistant? Alright. And can get a bit of urine, huh? Okay, things just got awkward. And feces on my, I thought you wrote I can get it on my face for a moment. I was thinking, well, okay, talk about occupational hazard. Clothes, can I still pray in these clothes? As in, can you completely, I don't know, like smudge this stuff all over your clothes and then just completely just, I don't know, take like a mud bath in this stuff? Well, just don't go to the masjid like that. I mean, the thing is, if it's an occupational hazard, inshallah, I believe you can pray like that. Yes, that's okay. Because especially the Malikiyah, they say that tahara, first of all, purity of clothes, there's a difference of opinion. Ashhab transmitted only as sunnah to, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ. That's a Makki verse, and therefore it couldn't have referred to clothes, because it couldn't have been an obligation, because salah wasn't fard back then. So the thing is that what a lot of the ulama said, I mean, somewhat like Ashhab, he believed it was only sunnah. Ibn Wahab believed it was fard regardless, like many other schools. And Ibn Qasim transmits the understanding from Imam Malik that it's to do with, they say, bishart al-qudra wa dhikr. So as long as you remember and you have the capacity. So if you don't have the capacity, it's okay. Let's get on with the business. Alright. What's your opinion on women singing in mixed gatherings, pure lyrics? I'm thinking more qasidas, nasheeds. Look at this. Who is this person? Hiba trying to scandalize me. Look at that, Hiba. Come on. This is controversial people problems, isn't it? Like, as soon as you say something. I mean, I don't believe that the woman's voice is aura. But, okay, singing in mixed gatherings, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people say it's okay. Yeah? Just go with them. Don't worry about it. So, pizza or biryani? Definitely biryani. Unless Domino pizzas are pretty good, though, to be fair. What do you say to the earning of people in entertainment? Muslims who act, produce, and direct movies, dramas? I believe that that's permissible. I mean, dramas, movies, stuff like that, that's not necessarily haram. I mean, why would you? I think we got to go easy on that, trigger happy on haram. If you think of it like this is how I think of it. I think of haram before I'm about to say haram to something. I think haram by definition is that which we are saying that unless Allah chooses otherwise, unless he does so, then by default, this person for this action deserves to be burnt by the hellfire. That is a huge, huge kind of statement. Do you understand? And when you think of things like that, all of a sudden you become very weary that I can't be so trigger happy on things like haram. Shouldn't have cleaned it. I shouldn't have cleaned Messi. All right, thanks. Now I suppose you can actually see me. Messi or Ronaldo. Don't watch football. Don't watch any sports actually. Where are you flying? Fly now. What is your view on celebrating the Mawlid? I don't do it myself. I tend to stick with the understanding of the early school of the Malikiyah, the Imam Malik's view and those who came after him for a few centuries, that bid'ah does not divide into good or bad. But I don't object to people who choose to do Mawlid. That's an understanding of the latter school of the Malikiyah, almost from like Ibn Arafah's time onwards. So the last maybe 600 years have been very sorry, I'm just being distracted. So the thing is, they've been very permissive and pro taqsim, division of bid'ah. I don't do it myself, but I don't object necessarily to people who do it. Do you consider Salafis outside Ahlu Sunnah? You see, my understanding is really a bit... because what is Ahlu Sunnah really? Right, what is Ahlu Sunnah? Who came up with this term and what did it actually mean? Because the Sahaba, the Tabi'een and the Atba'u Tabi'een, Imam Malik's time and those people, they never used to go around saying, we are Ahlu Sunnah. They never even used this term, Ahlu Sunnah. They were just the main body of Muslims. This term, some people say, was used maybe, I don't know, post 200s. And then it became a set of beliefs. But what makes somebody, how can we be so certain that these beliefs were the beliefs of the early communities? The early communities were not completely expressive about what they believed, so we don't truly, we have an idea of what they believed, but truly what they believed 100% of the time, there is a lot of speculation in there as well. So what is Ahl Sunnah really? It's just a claim to legitimacy, I guess. I do believe that, in my understanding, what Ahl Sunnah means, it's people who belong to the main corpus of the Muslim Ummah, who claim to want to be upon what the Prophet and his companions and the early generations were upon. So for example, the Shia would be in distinction to that. They dismiss the early communities and the companions and so on. The Khawarij dismiss them and so on. I think that's the broad understanding. And in my understanding, Ahl Sunnah would be people who say we believe in Allah, His messengers, His angels, His books, the Day of Judgment, and destiny, whatever destiny means, predestination, I guess. But whatever that kind of means, nobody truly understands it half the time. But the thing is that these things are set out. Now, you're a Muslim. One of the best examples that always comes to my mind is that the Prophet ﷺ, when speaking about a particular person who had kind of really disobeyed Allah his entire life, when he was about to die, he asked his children to kind of cremate him and scatter his ashes in various places so he may avoid and escape Allah's wrath. Now, the Prophet said that Allah brought him together and asked him that what made you did this out of my fear, and therefore you can go to Jannah. Now the thing, everybody transmits this hadith, it's sahih and everybody kind of loves it, but what they forget to analyze is that the hadith, if you analyze it, it shows that what did this person believe? He believed that Allah did not know what he was planning, that Allah was incapable of bringing him back. He actually believed he could escape the hereafter, that there will be no hereafter for him. Now, all of these beliefs are absolutely heretic. Like, you are absolutely clearly outside of the fold of Ahl Sunnah. So, yet, in the hadith, he is granted Jannah. So it goes to show it's not about a labels thing. Although I do, at the same time, I'm not saying we disown this understanding. I do believe that Ahl Sunnah represents the orthodoxy of Islam, which has diverse schools in it. I do consider the Salafis to be part of that. Although they are kind of anthropomorphic and do believe that Allah has body parts and stuff like this. Although they say we don't believe body parts like humans' body parts, but we just don't know what the body parts are like. I would strongly disagree with that kind of view, but I still believe it's part of the main corpus of this ummah. Right, people, do you think Muslims need to physically counter-protest groups like EDL? Sure, why not, inshallah? I mean, these people, I think many people are doing things like that, and may Allah protect them and make things easy for them. Where are the Malikites getting it together? The Malikis, don't worry, the school of Medina is en route, people. They're re-routing to Medina. It's all going down, I'm telling you. Right, shukran, Allah fiikum. I've been on one of these live streams, just a Q&A. Right, but how does this work? Right, well, it's a Q&A, got that right. That was when somebody just tried to call you. Just knocks everything off balance. Right, so okay, now, right, let me just set this straight. So I'm going to have to cut it short. Let's see, you should put a pre-live message asking the questions we want to ask and pick the ones you go through. Yeah, you can do, don't worry about it. Fez, hell yeah, here we come. Right, do you consider Salafis outside? Nope, I don't. Muslim charities who do not give information on where the money is being spent. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of shady business as well going on with charities, but I mean, there's good work as well. I just don't know. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, really. Shower in it. Right. Salams alaikum. Farid, wa alaikum assalam. You're really learning the rules easy. Barakallahu feek, Tahir. So, is this just open Q&A? Hell yeah, Khalil, that's it. That's what it is. It's your favorite football team. Again, I don't watch football. Mufti, what was the best TV series you've ever watched? Ha ha ha. Now that would be telling. Now, I've watched quite a few actually. The Maliki Madhab, Eid alAdha, every person has to dhabah a goat, or a family member can sacrifice. A family member can offer a sacrifice on behalf of the entire family. That's valid within the school of Medina. Meeting up with the Don Mufti Menk. Inshallah, I am trying to meet up with Mufti Menk. I was due to meet him earlier on this year in May time, and then it just got hectic, and then I think his schedule was kind of rushed. But inshallah, let's meet up with the legend Mufti Menk. Were you for Remain or Brexit? I was actually for Remain, but not that anybody listened to me. Prayers in Maliki Madhab and Shafi'i Madhab, are they the same? Two after Maghrib. Yeah, the sunnah of all salah are pretty much the same throughout the madhabs, except with the Hanafi, their sunnah before fard is 4. The other madhabs sometimes say you can do 4 or 2. But those are kind of, sometimes they just see those as lesser sunnah, and the main sunnah are the one after fard. Come East London. Alright, Shafahad, inshallah. When I'm there, I'll give you a shout. I see you, Saqib, okay. Baltimore, shout out from there, big up. Alright, allowed to partake in mediocre medical matam to commemorate Imam Hussein. I'm not really down with all that kind of stuff, you know. I'm not really down with all this kind of gothic, you know, crying over, lamenting over the death of people. And it's done, isn't it? What is there to, you know, what does this crying kind of prove? I mean, to me, it doesn't really, I see a lot of Shi'ism as a very emotional kind of, you see, which is ironic actually, because in Aqeedah, they're very rational, except in their Shia beliefs. But the Shia kind of core Shia beliefs, they're actually a very rationalist kind of rationally driven theological group. But the thing is, most of their understanding of faith is extremely emotional. It's all about emotions, crying, lamenting. It's all in kind of like guilt driven. In that way, bears some resemblance to like Catholicism and stuff like that, a sense of guilt. They're not down with all this kind of stuff. I don't believe that we need to be guilt-tripped and guilt-driven into stuff. And, you know, we are on this earth to live life. I mean, you know, Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu an, obviously was one of the best of creation, the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He took an action, and unfortunately in his time he was barbarically kind of murdered, and along with him a lot of his family. And may Allah bless his entire family and the Muslims by extension. But I'm not really down with all this, neither was Imam Malik ever down with all this kind of really just because somebody claims to be of a lineage, or I belong to the family of the Prophet, therefore I'm special. And Imam Malik disregarded all of these kind of things actually. And when he was asked, he went to that extent that he said, when we say Al Muhammad, Al means the followers of Muhammad, and it doesn't mean his family. And he was very, very not down with this stuff at all. I mean, to the extent that when he was asked who are the best of people after the Prophet, and he said Abu Bakr, and they said who then? And he said Umar, they said who then? He said Uthman, and they said who then? And he said after that there is nobody better, they're all the same. And the person said, but what about Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anh? And he said they're all the same. And he said that but it does, and he said that, and his actual wording was, somebody who set out seeking something is not the same as those who did not seek it. Now, history is incredibly complex, and these were great figures and some of the best people of Islam, and we need to obviously always have that veneration. But at the same time, I think we shouldn't fall into this kind of guilt-driven culture of kind of like nepotism. Like when somebody belongs, this person belongs to the family of the Prophet. I mean, okay, it's nice, it's good. It's if it's true. I mean, nowadays everybody claims to be from, the whole of Iran claims to be from the family of the Prophet, and they've all got lineages. People say, yeah, well, I've got a lineage. I mean, they've all got lineage. They've all got trees and these kind of family trees going back to the Prophet and stuff. I'm not too. To me, the Prophet ﷺ said all Muslims are the same. Okay. That's what I see. There is no, you're not. If you say to me you're Hashimi or you're Fatimi or you're Alawi by Nasab, or you're Umawi or you're Qurashi or you're a non-Arab, to me you are all Bani Adam. We are all the same, right? It is by your understanding, by your reason and by your faith that you reach a maqam. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. That the most virtuous are those who are God-fearing, God-conscious, who have an understanding of God. Allah, that is a verse of the Quran. It is not a hadith. This is what I was saying. I was discussing with some students. I was saying that the issue is today the Quran is no longer authoritative for us. That the verse says, وَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ, and when the trumpet is blown, فَلَا أَنْسَابَ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ, there will be no lineage between them on that day. Yet people say, but there will be. You see, the thing is, the issue is that the Quran is no longer our number one go-to. It's just background to reinforce our views. We need to move away from this culture. We need to reinstate the Quran as our primary understanding and then build our understanding around it. The spirit that the Quran teaches us, we don't find that. What we find, in fact, people turn away from the Quran so easily. Like this thing, like in the Quran, it says there is no compulsion in deen or regarding deen. People turn away from that so easily. Like, oh, it's just a verse, so don't worry about it, it means something else. I mean, why? That's a verse of the Quran. It is the most authentic thing you have. Allah says in the Quran, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, that I don't care, you came from a single soul and a single partner. Allah set you forth as mankind, and none of you are better than each other. Allah says in the Quran, just so you to know each other, that your different tongues and races and colors and things like this are a sign of Allah. It's not a meritocracy. It's not a hierarchy. Allah says, that inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, that most virtuous. And when also the verse that when the trumpet is blown, فَلَا أَنْسَابَ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ, there will be nothing. There are no lineages or blood kind of relations between you on that day. And the thing is, but people, they turn away. Oh, but so-and-so is the grandson of... Well, what did he do to be the grandson of the Prophet? He did nothing. Or, I don't mean Imam Hussein, by the way. I mean people saying it today about people being the grandson. Obviously, Imam Hussein is of the best era. He's from the Sahaba, the Tabi'een, and that whole era, the blessed era. I mean, people say today he's from the so-and-so is from the family of the Prophet. I mean, what do you want us to do? Like, I mean, I don't have a choice. I mean, okay, I wouldn't mind being from the family of the Prophet ﷺ, but, I mean, this isn't how Islam works. Right. It's about what you do, not about what you were born into. Right. So, I mean, I'm not down with this kind of stuff, but I know people are. But anyway, so let's move on. Right. How old are you? I'm, way too old now. What am I now? 36, 37, I think. Another controversial. Do you think women can wear light perfume? I believe women can wear perfume, Hiba. That's absolutely fine. I don't mean they need to drown themselves in it, but I think they can, and I think they should. I think people should always, it's part of the hygiene of the day and age we're in. A person should, deodorants, things like this, some light perfumes, smell nice, look nice, as in, I don't mean by look nice as in like OTT, over the top. I mean just presentable, and we're in a culture with this. You see, people, some people say, stuff, all this. And I've said before, Sheikh Dado, Muhammad Walid al-Hassan Dado, the legendary Mufti, Grand Mufti of, not the Grand, but the legendary Mufti of Mauritania, he's already given the fatwa that women can wear makeup. There's nothing wrong with that. And they can wear it outside. People have said they can use it as profile picture. Now, and, even with perfume, now people say, well, oh my God, this is fitna, this is already out there. Women are already like this. They're much, they're wearing next to nothing. Now, the problem is if Muslim women are just going to be, they're just going to be ugly. The thing is, I don't mean to be kind of like, if people, well, you see, I believe everybody has beauty to them, but it's about making yourself look like dumbing yourself, like kind of dulling yourself down to that extent. Then let's be real. What's going to happen is people are not going to be interested. Now, society, so what happens is people say, oh yeah, but so-and-so's practicing the faith. Nobody's interested in marrying her. Or nobody's interested in, because people have an inbuilt attraction to certain things. Now, yes, it's what I'm trying to say. You see, I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is the Prophet said, take care of yourselves. Be presentable. He told a person off whose beard was scruffy. His hair was scruffy. He said, what's wrong with you? You look like a predatory beast. Get out of here, fix yourself, and then come back. That hadith's in Tirmidhi. And the thing is, so looking presentable is good, especially in a context. I'm not saying you walk around like that if you live in Kabul. Probably get kidnapped. I mean, like, I'm speaking about our own context. It's very Northern Hemisphere, Western kind of like, everybody, so you're just going to look really weird, and then the religion's going to get blamed for it, and then on top of that, you're going to probably have a hard time in life, and you're going to think, well, alhamdulillah, I chose the religion. But the religion was more elastic than you think. You chose an aspect, and I'm sure Allah will reward you for that. But the point is, if you undertake some hardships, then it's your choice. But I believe there is grounds for things like that. But I'm sorry, I don't mean by that people are ugly. They're not. They're very incredibly beautiful. But the point is that what I mean by that is that people sometimes dull themselves down, make themselves look weird. Whereas you can choose to be gracefully, with modesty, very beautiful. You can choose to be that. And that's with a grace and elegance to it. It doesn't have to be kind of like very... like kind of almost slutty or kind of like highly, it doesn't have to be like sultry kind of like that. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be very graceful, elegant, yet modest, yet amazingly beautiful. It can be like that. But we shouldn't I think we need to move away from this understanding that the deen is asceticism. It's not. It's not about abandoning the dunya. As Allah says, وَلَا تَنْسَى نَصِيبَكَ, do not forget your portion of this world. All right, people, I'm going to have to, I'm going to take a last question, and then we're going to have to cut it short. I'm ever so sorry. we're going to be kind of like heading off to fly out in a few hours. I've got to kind of sort out so many things yet. I did want to squeeze in a gym session too. Addicts, junkies. The thing is right, people, Hidayat al-Nahu. Right, inshallah, maybe next time, help on grammar. I do love grammar. Scholars say in regard to perennialism, too lengthy of a question. Yaar, come on. Kamal karte ho yaar. How do you expect me to answer that as a last shoot-off question? How many raka'ats do Maliki pray in Sunnah in all 5 prayer? I mean, the Sunnah prayer, like, so for example, in Dhuhr, after Dhuhr, there's 2. With Subah, before Subah, I suppose, some people say there's 2. Some people say that's not Sunnah, it's a lesser Sunnah, but 2 before Fajr. Sorry, they actually call that Fajr. They call the Fard prayer Subah. 2 after Dhuhr. Before Asr, they don't really say it's an emphasized Sunnah, but if you want to, you can pray 2 or 4. After Maghrib, 2. After Isha, 2. Okay, and the Witr is Sunnah as well. 2 drinks, and a third one comes out. Is it okay to keep the third one, Harvey? Hell yeah, it's okay to keep the third one. Have a drink on us. And on that note, people, let's call it a night, inshallah. It's been awesome. Shukran, barakallahu feekum. Your questions have been just firing away, and I totally love Q&A. The only thing is I've got to shoot, so ever so sorry if I can't get to the rest of your questions. Feel free to snap me. If you're on Snapchat, add me, Malm2014, MALM2014. You can message me, but snapping is a quick way. Snap me up and I'll try and get you those snap wars. Other than that, inshallah, people, take care of yourselves. Until next time, next Monday, inshallah, Monday nights with Mufti, and next week, Q&A live. I'll catch up with any questions I missed there, or you can fire them again then. Take good care of yourselves, people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.